Okay, hello again, and welcome to a video that basically is the culmination of about 3.5 or 4 hours of my wasted time, what seems like. Unfortunately, after I did all of this picture, I found out that apparently YouTube was not what I was hoping it would be. I was, as you can see, I designed this whole thing to be basically fit on the banner of a YouTube channel. But as it turns out, that is not the case. YouTube does not like it when you do that, apparently. So that's how this is not working. In any case, so yeah, I just drew my Nite again. Had a little break there for a second. But drawing my little Nite and then a landscape behind him. So we actually have something to look at, and then I was like, oh, maybe a castle, I don't know, maybe a little weird thing over there. Then I was like, okay, sword, skull, all this good stuff. You won't see this, this whole piece, unless I somehow figure out how to make it fit according to YouTube's little weird regulations. But, you know, whatever. So I was taking a break for a second there, and now I'm back. Forgot to get rid of the break thing. But, you know, whatever. And I was like, oh, maybe I can have my little spire or something in there. But, yeah, so that sticks around for a little while. I'll take another break because I have to lay down every now and then because I basically work on the floor. And it's murder on my back sometimes. And so now I'm sort of detailing the flag. I was trying to figure out if I wanted anything on my on the flag there. And let me see. Where'd I go? Oh, yep. I was doing a little dragging here. It didn't make it into the final piece because it felt a little out of place. But, yeah, just working on his armor a little bit more, making things look a little bit better. Oh, yeah, now I'm starting to work on the color of the landscape itself. Just very, very rough. Doing all of that good stuff. Let me see. Yep, I was going to have some snow on the ice, on the mountaintops. And the ski coming in, clouds. This is where things move a little bit fast right now just because I'm doing things very roughly. And then it slows down a lot better, or a lot more close to the thing. So yeah, this whole thing is still before I've actually even decided to work on the actual lines for the piece. Now, that's where this is now. Just sort of cleaning up some of the lines and getting everything to look a little bit better. So yeah, that's what this is going on. I had a little brief moment here where I freaked out and I almost did the whole picture in, I just like blotted out the whole thing in black. But, you know, whatever. So here I am just sort of working on the armor pieces, I suppose. I don't really have much to say about this aside from sort of using the freeform transform tool. Every now and then I'll come back out and look at how it looks in real space, I guess. And then I start working on the armor, or his vambraces, I suppose. So yeah. The gloves were a little bit of annoyance because I'm not very good at hands. So it took me... It didn't seem very long in the speed paint, but believe me, it took me a while. This whole thing was compressed down twice. Like, I rendered the video, which was surprisingly not that harmful to my health. But I rendered the video, fixed it up a little bit, and compressed it all the way down to, I think, 42, 43 something minutes. And then I compressed it down again, and that's what we're watching now. So this is 8 times real speed, I think. Something like... No, it'd be 16 times real speed, I think. Yeah. Yeah, because it'd be 4 times 4 speed. So this is 16 times actual speed. I tried doing some symmetry, but it didn't really look right. It looked too perfect, which is certainly something that I'm not very good at. Doing some chainmail, yay, chainmail. I didn't really detail it all that much in the actual piece, but, you know, screw it. Another break, had to lay down. I did do this in several different, I did do all of this in several different, what are they called, sessions. About an hour each. before I had to take a break, so to sit down and do something else. So this thing was done over the course of last night and today, and I would have had something else prepared for today if I hadn't been aware that YouTube was gonna screw me about this. Here's where I have a lot of problem trying to figure out how the hell the flag is gonna go. Eventually, I just sort of settle on something like this, I think. Yeah, there we go. So now that I have the line art sort of fixed up for his armor, I just sort of push and pull things here and there, make sure everything is hunky-dory for what I want it to look like, and then I start working on the landscape. So I'm just sort of detailing rocks, detailing the sword, and I was like, oh, maybe I can, oh yeah, Dark Souls, where every sword is missing its like handle and its pommel and everything. I don't know who this guy is, but whoever he is, he got pretty messed up. Yeah, just working on mountains. Mountains are fun to draw because I draw them really lazy. I sort of squiggle, but then we come back into our color, and I start to refine the color a little bit more. Whew. Yep, that's what I'm doing. Just sort of making sure that things aren't bleeding into each other so much as they were before. Excuse me. Yeah, the flag was a really annoying part because I changed it so much from the original that it really had to get a bunch of paint over, a bunch of do-over for its paints and everything. So, yep, just sort of continuously working here and there. And then I was like, oh god, how am I going to fix this? Because I noticed that there are some lines missing over here, particularly. So I have to go in and add all these and make sure that there's, like, you know, stuff to show that there is dirt where these things are protruding. For some reason, I didn't color the sword until way later. I don't really know why, but I'm adding some more snow on the mountaintops. I missed a couple, I think, or I think I just decided that they weren't going to have snow on them. But let me see. Yep. Oh yeah. Now I'm blending up the clouds. So I pulled back way far into the so I could see everything, and then just started using that wonderful brush of mine. Well, it's not mine. It came with the program, but it does the job good enough. So I'm just sort of making everything sort of smooth and rough at the same time. And then add some cloud shadows. I'm not particularly the best when it comes to cloud cast shadows, but here I'm working on the armor. And for the longest time, I really hated how the armor was looking, just because armor and its unworked, like sort of, like metal. When I'm not done with it, I hate the way it looks. It looks really, really awful to me. I can't, which really keeps me from doing it a lot because I try to do a little too much, and I don't know. I freak myself out whenever I work on metal. So this was some good practice for it though. And I'm smoothing things out, doing some more shading for the mountains. Then I finally color the sword. About time. And then I shade the flag. Just sort of, you know, the light isn't all that important in this one. I mean, it is, but it isn't. I didn't really bother trying to make it like super dependent on like where everything was. But yeah, just sort of getting everything to look like it was at least hitting the shadow. Unlike the sword, which I forgot. I'm dumb like that. It didn't really. Not that it matters, because this whole goddamn picture doesn't really matter at all. Because, you know, I spent 4 hours on it, and then I just sort of was told to go screw myself by YouTube's little weird system that they have for cropping. I was like, oh man, I will make the shape of the banner. Too bad that's not how it works. So yeah, then I start to work on my little. I hesitate to call it a catchphrase. It's just what I say a lot. And then I make it look sort of gold. I love doing gold. It's one of my favorite metals to replicate. And then I make it really dark. And then I come out here and try to figure that out, and then it came out pretty alright. I kind of like how that came out. I was gonna highlight the flag a little bit, but it didn't really look very well. So anyway, that's it. Anyway, I guess until the next video, I'll see you then. Fare thee well.